Yes, we are live. Okay, let me give people a minute to come on. You can find us also on YouTube. Please share. Tell everyone to share. We will start in a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure I get this out to as many people as I can. Give the family a little time to catch their breath. Normally we go from 5 to 6. I have Mom here. She may not want to talk that long, so we're just going to play it by ear today. Let me share it to my page. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please give me 1 second and I'll be right with you. All right, so my name is Wyntis, and I am, of course, the host of the Wyntis Hall Show through A10 Media, News Media Group. This weekend, I shared something Saturday. It was a video. It was a video of a young man, a young black man by the name of D'Angelo. D'Angelo goes to where he used to attend, Mount Morris Middle School. D'Angelo, since attending that school, has had a series of incidents that have occurred to him. And we're going to talk about that today. But the biggest thing that stood out to me, we don't have all of our stuff hooked up yet, but if you go to my page, A10 News Media Group, you will see the video of D'Angelo. It's kind of hard for me to even talk about it being a mother. His mother is right here, and she still can't watch the video because it takes you back to 2020 in George Floyd. Get your knee off of my neck. This young man doesn't weigh 150 pounds wet. He had 4 men on top of him. You okay, baby? It's okay. He had 4 men on top of him. It's okay, baby. And he was yelling, "Get off of me. Let me go." He didn't want to die at school. Did you hear what I said? He didn't want to die at school. I have his mother with me today, Miss Williams. I'm not going to give out her first name for personal reasons. You still haven't watched the video yet, have you?
I'm not going to watch the video, but I heard.
Can you speak up for our viewers a little bit?
Yes. I haven't watched the video, but I heard it. And I don't think I want to hear it again. I don't want to see it or anything. It frustrates me with that. It brings my anxiety to 10.
You send your kids to school to be protected.
And that's it. And
to
learn.
Be taught. Yes. Yeah. And when I met you, you said you didn't let him go to Flint schools because why?
I thought my Morris it was just a better opportunity for my baby.
She wanted a better opportunity for her baby at Mount Morris schools. Now I know what all the naysayers gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you. It's two sides to every story, and then it's the truth. But I have facts. I have a video. I have four men on top of D'Angelo, and he's screaming, "Get off of me!" And they say, "I want to," but they never did. And then the lady that was looking over them was the principal, and she came back to try to shoo another student away who was videoing.
She was the one that was recording because she thought that they was wrong in the wrong, and she wanted to help D'Angelo, but she knew that there was consequences with helping my baby.
And that's what we've gotten to in society. We've gotten to the point in society where we see officers or liaisons or adults, whatever you want to call it, when a situation is happening, before we call 911, we record it. Because this is, in this case, it was the police on top of you. It's okay, baby. And I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions. I'm gonna let Mama talk. Um, this young man had a series of incidents at Mount Morris Junior High School.
Yes.
I do want to make it known that after all was said and done, he received 180-day suspension from school.
Not only him, but the little girl as well.
The little girl who was taping also received 180-day suspension. We will not give her name out because she is also a minor, but let's just say that her mother is an official.
She's an important person. I can say that.
Very important person out in Mount Morris. And I don't think the school knew who she was. And it shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? My mother shouldn't have to be important for me to be treated right.
But I think that if Mount Morris School, as the principal, the vice principal, and all them people that was, you know what I'm saying, had something to do with that video and in charge of that school, if they knew who her mother was, they wouldn't mess with her at all. It wouldn't be no suspension or expulsion or nothing.
But it's still sad.
Yeah.
You know, the whole story is still it's crazy to me. We talk about some of the incidents that led up to this expulsion. You talked about you being the only Black child in the classroom. You said one day you're sitting there before class starts and a white student comes in and turns the light off. And what did he say?
He called me a nigger.
He called him a nigger. Called him a nigger. Nobody did anything, did they? No. Acceptable, huh? At Mount Morris Junior High. Other incidents, mother.
A little girl, but she ain't little. She's a teenager. She was throwing a big book at D'Angelo, constantly just hitting him in the head with the book. And he basically was telling her, the girl, stop. And she wouldn't stop. And he was like, no, stop hitting me with the book. And he snatched the book and threw it the opposite way where it wasn't harming anyone. And he ended up getting kicked out for basically trying to protect himself.
So a little girl, well, not a little girl, but one of your students, what grade are you in, baby? 8th grade. So another 8th grader was just hitting you with the book because she felt like it. You snatched the book because you was tired of her hitting you, and you threw that book so she couldn't hit you no more, and you got kicked out. How did you feel going to school every day? It wasn't good. And you can't learn in that type of environment, can you? Mom, more stories. I mean, we got a whole tale of horror stories.
This recent one was with two kids that go to the school. One of them snatched his necklace off of his neck, and he basically ended up in the office with 4 men on top of him, and basically begging for pleading for them to stop.
So that's what led to the 180 days expulsion.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a necklace on. Another student snatched the necklace off.
And the other one was taunting him.
And another, it was a second student?
Yes, it was another student.
So it was two.
Yes.
One snatched your necklace, the other one was taunting you.
Yes.
And then what happened?
We ended up pushing, teachers come and they let them go to class.
So it was a shoving match, like, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
and then they grabbed me, they took me to the office.
Now were they white or black?
They were black.
Oh, well, they were black. Okay, so it was two black boys that were harassing you at this particular point. They let them go to class,
Yeah.
but four adult men came and snatched you up.
Yeah.
And they, I don't even understand how, you're not even big enough for 4 men to touch. I mean, did they drag you down to the office? Give me a visual.
Two had my leg and two had my arms, like picking me up.
Like a damn, like a
Yeah, like you know,
like you swing a kid.
Yeah.
So they carried you they wouldn't let you walk to the office. You was that big, bad, and dangerous that 4 men had to come. One had each leg, and then 2 more had your arms.
Mm-hmm.
And they carried you down to the office. This is hard for me to just sit here and even hear.
If you had seen him on video yourself, I almost crashed my car and everything. He had FaceTimed me, was like, "Mama, help! They trying to hurt me. They trying to help! They trying to hurt me." And the vice principal, Mr. Carr, had basically his arm shoved up in his neck, and he was like, "I can't breathe. Please help me. I can't breathe." And I was trying to get to my baby, and I couldn't make it to him.
Got some tissue there. I'll get her some tissue for me, baby. Oh, been down. Never mind. Because you can't see if it's something over there. She can wipe her eyes with or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Okay. I'm sorry. We don't have any tissue. I'm just still stunned that they carried him down to the office like a Negro off a slave ship.
Yeah. But it was something, the most, like hearing it, I could take that, but actually seeing it is different. Like when I got to the building, I really thought that they hurt my baby because they would not even let me in the building. Like it was crazy.
I'll get you some tissue. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is 2023. This is 2023. I shouldn't be doing shows about no matter black, white, yellow, or blue. I shouldn't be doing shows. That's tissue for your sister. I shouldn't have to do shows about adults jumping on children. You went through time after time after time after time after time of getting taunted, called a nigger, snatching your necklace, another girl hitting you with a book. And I'm not sitting up here and telling the audience that you helped carry the cross up the hill with Jesus. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're a perfect kid. But what I am saying is that you don't weigh 150 pounds weight. It's nowhere in the world for that amount of force to be used on any child. Any child is uncalled for. Mom is ready to return to the set with us. Now, Mom, I remember you telling me when you went up to now he's calling you after this all happened. Mama gets to me, or he's calling you like during it, or some of his friends or somebody is like calling you and you're trying to get to your son.
He called me.
He was calling
Because
you.
I'm on his phone. We got iPhones. You know that you could. It's people you could just dial up and it just instantly.
Siri called mama. Right.
Yeah. I basically seen him, Mr. Carr, on top of my baby with his arm in his neck, and D'Angelo basically pleading him to get off of him because he couldn't breathe, and he just keep constantly asking this man. And it took Mr. Carr. It was like he was on D'Angelo about it was over 15 minutes because I was at a light and I actually stopped in traffic. I'm like, what is going on? I had to actually watch what was going on because my mind and wasn't telling me to go at all. I'm like, D'Angelo. I'm like, get up, D'Angelo. He said, I can't breathe. Stop, please stop. He was like, his voice was changing and everything. It sounded like my baby was like he was leaving. If you think to yourself, it's like, man, it's just so crazy. Like, how can I can't do that to nobody kid at all. And when we had actually made it there, only thing I could ask Mr. Carr, like, why was you on top of him? Why was you putting so much force on him? Why was you doing that to him? He said basically his adrenaline was running, and that's the only reason why. I said, well, you a principal. This your job to take care of these kids and not hurt them. Right. I said, he was hurting my baby. The look at he gave me, he didn't have no remorse, no care in the world or anything. He just sat there and just broken his shoulders, just looking at me. I'm like, okay, I see what type of person you are. You don't care. It's just a job that you go to and go home. That's it. No care.
But I still don't understand 180 days behind this. So they're saying that incident, and you was that big and bad that it took 4 men, and because this video circulating all around the school, you got 180 days expulsion. Yeah. Then comes the board.
The board,
there's a review board. Basically, they sent you to a review board to say what, plead your case.
We didn't get a chance to plead anything. Every time we
get a chance to talk.
No, they told me I couldn't record, and they basically voted. Everybody voted.
Who voted?
The board. Everybody that was at the board, in which some of the people that's on the board committee, they actually worked for the school and was there when that had happened to D'Angelo.
So they couldn't vote themselves as being wrong because it would have made them look bad. So they had to pretty much vote to put him out because it would have came back as a bad reflection on them.
Yeah.
So when you got a chance to speak to them, oh, wait a minute. You didn't get a chance to speak.
No, they shut me down every time. And they told me I'm basically being disruptive.
You was being disruptive?
Yeah, because they was basically preaching out lies of what happened, and they got a big stack of paperwork. It's just filled with a whole bunch of lies, in which some of on the paperwork they telling on themselves of what they've been doing to my son as well. We didn't get a chance. He didn't even get a chance. They was talking to me like I was a child, so we didn't get a chance to even say anything. So on our side, we didn't have a side. It wasn't two stories.
It was just their side.
It was just their side, and that's it.
Did you go back up there? Did you ask the school, well, can I have a chance for him to complete his year, his homework, or something? Virtual?
When I went up to the school, they locked me out the school. They told me the principal wasn't there, and I waited outside for 1 hour and a half until somebody actually came to the door.
Wait a minute, baby, back up. Wait a minute. She said she went to the school and waited outside for 1 hour and a half before someone came to the door.
Yeah.
They made you stand outside in the cold for 1 hour and a half?
Yeah. And this was before we even went to the board. we didn't have no papers of anything that was going on. I didn't even know that he was kicked out or suspended. I didn't know nothing that was going on.
They didn't even tell you
They
nothing.
wouldn't tell me at all.
And of course, you didn't know. And
I wouldn't even say that.
you didn't even say nothing, did you?
He didn't really want to be around me. Like he was scared to go inside the building.
I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be scared or be traumatic? I mean, you think not only that school, but what when he goes back to school,
Yeah.
you know? And then I think about life. I think about longevity. And I think about that fork in the road. And I think about this young man. Well, they did this to me. This is how the world is. This is what I'm going to do to people. Or I'm going to make a change and I'm going to do better. Sometimes we have to make that choice at such a difficult age. And how old did you say you were again? 14 years old. 14 years old, and he is screaming, "Get off of me." Not that he was going to fight these four men.
Four big men.
Four big men, because I did see a picture of one of them. Not that he was going to fight these four men, officers, liaisons. He just wanted them off of him. He was scared. He couldn't breathe. Get your knee off my neck. How many times do we have to sit here and say that? Thank God that he's sitting here at this table now, able to tell his side of the story. First of all, giving all praises to the mighty God for that we didn't have another George Floyd here. But I beg of every one of you that is listening, that is paying attention to see what's going on here, come to the next school board meeting at Mount Morris. Not for disruption. No, we're not inviting you for disruption. We're coming for you to explain to them why this shouldn't happen to our children. Before you take a job in the school, before you take a job as a police officer, it should be different types of training that you have. You can't come from working the night shift off the street to the day shift at the school with babies with the same mentality that you had just coming off the street. You can't handle this 14-year-old young man that's impressionable like you would handle a 40-year-old man just robbing a building. No, that's not how you do anybody. And if I have to sit here every day, I told my daughter coming here, Mommy is going to be a voice for the voiceless, because guess what? It could have been my daughter. It could have been your daughter, your son. And that's when everybody wants to start saying something when it reaches close to home. But no, let's start before it reaches home. When she called me the other day and said, "Thank you for helping me," I said, your child is my child. It takes a village. And I truly believe that. So your father, I met your father. So his father is in the picture, okay? Because I know how shady y'all can get. His father is in the picture.
And love him.
Huh?
We don't have a broken home.
No broken home. His daddy was so upset. He couldn't come on here and watch this. His daddy couldn't even, when I talked to his father still couldn't grasp that was his son.
And he watched it as well. Like,
oh,
on
he
FaceTime.
did watch it?
He seen it on FaceTime as well. He didn't want to see none of the people at that school that had something to walk in. He was like, why y'all not protecting him?
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
They're like, why you not protecting him? Y'all supposed to be protecting him. Like, y'all grown. And nobody in that room having no remorse, not the two police officers that was there, not the school workers, not the principals. Nobody had no remorse. Everybody just sat there and just wanted to say their side of the story as of why they think that he shouldn't be on their school property.
Your sister ain't start crying yet. I know she looking at it like this her baby. This is the baby.
He was the baby for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is her baby.
Yeah. This the baby that she used to rock.
Yes,
to
our
sleep.
family is
Tight.
We tight. We like that. We strong. All of us we're a tree.
Right. You're a
Yeah.
tree with a good foundation, and that's
Yes.
good to hear. Because not all of our Black families are broken.
And
Okay, we have morals and values just like everyone else, and we're not going to stand for treatment. Not this kind of treatment. No, not at all. You are either going to learn how to handle our children and respect our children, because respect is give and take situation. I can't. It hurts me. It pains me to look at him, because you can see the hurt in his eyes. Even if you want to just take your mind to the wildest place it can go, it didn't take 4 men. Baby, stand up. Turn around, face the camera. 4 men. 2 of them by his hands and 2 of them by his feet. Look at me. Like, y'all know I lost a couple pounds, but what I'm saying is, it didn't take 4 men. It didn't take 4 men. It didn't take 4 men. And that was too much for us. So now where are we at? Where are we at now with this?
with the school,
Nowhere.
we still at ground zero.
Ground zero.
Yes.
No answers, no help, no nothing, just out of school, trying to get some answers.
That's it.
And this is how many days you've been out of school? How many weeks? When did this happen?
It's been about, you might as well say almost a month, because it was at the beginning of this month.
Beginning of this month.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month. My mother told me the other day, and I repeated it on the show several times. She said in 2023, it seems like we only 2 rows from the back of the bus.
That's it.
Any last words, Mom? Because I know this is hard for him, and I'm not going to keep your sister about to cry to death over there.
I know.
How can we as the community help you?
Right now, man, I'm still like shook up about the incident. Just protect y'all babies and just watch over them. Check on them every day at the school, because you never know. Because they be saying one thing on paperwork and telling you one thing on that phone, but when you go up there and see your son or daughters, listen to them. Listen to your kids. That's all I got to say. Just listen to your kids, because what they'll tell you sometimes be wrong.
Thank you. I implore anybody that's watching, again, go to A10 News Media Group, Trevor Berryhill, we thank Trevor, also for breaking the story for us Friday, no doubt. Thank you very much, Trevor. I owe you that. We'll see you at the next board meeting, and I hope that many more people will join us. Until then, thank you.